Welcome, viewers. Friendly YouTube here, well mannered NFO Merc Code Breaker. Um, I should have been did this. This is some of the stuff that was backlogged in my mind that I should have did as it was happening. If I had other things in my life, either here or there. So if we can remember, in a time back, not too far back, they had Kobe Bryant versus Gayle King. Not, well, Snoop really, right? Because Kobe had passed. Gayle went on a public interview and with WNBA player. Everybody's familiar with the situation, but just a quick recap. And she went on there and she asked the.
That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
I think that the media should be more respectful. At this time, it's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, with the cases, it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify, so it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we should leave it.
It is women and the NBA Power and Fame, and she did a very good job of like answering the questions, understanding what Gayle was trying to do with the plateau that she had and the window of control of like influence and where people's minds are going to go right after this. The man has just passed away probably within like 3 or 4 days, if I'm not mistaken, right? So after that happened, I won't even call it backlash. We'll say that for the later on. We'll call that the uproar from the peanut gallery, right? Twitter, they dubbed it Black Twitter and so forth, or Instagram maybe. Snoop took to the public, and he was angry because he was a friend of Cole. He's from the same city. They carried the same torch as far as LA is concerned, and so forth, right? So he was upset that Gayle tried to put smut on his homie name. So he had to put respect on his name, all three of y'all. So when Snoop heard, he went to the radio or the Instagram or whatever, and he cursed her out. He called her whatever he called her, right? So here it goes. After that,
we your people. You ain't coming after fucking Harvey Weinstein asking them dumb-ass questions. I get sick of y'all. I want to call you one. Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog-head bitch. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking homeboy's reputation, punk motherfucker? Respect the family and back off, bitch, before we come get you.
Happened now. Snoop was in hot water, right? He had got reprimanded and brung to the red table, Jada Pickett's red table. Right. Now, let's look at what's going on here. Jada Pickett's daughter, Jada Pickett's mother, right? Supposed to be like a 3-generational situation, all women looking at the current events and how it intertwines. It sounds good on paper, right? They bring Snoop in there. Snoop is in hot water for what he has said to Gayle and the manner in which he said it in, and so forth. So Snoop goes up there. He's another public figure, right? We call him a rapper slash actor. Jada Pickett, an actress. So they are familiar with the camera. They know how to convey emotions. They know how to look sincere. They know how to look sad. They know how to cry. They know how to look intimate. They know how to show love to somebody that they're just paid to show love to. You understand what I'm saying? They're actors. This is what they do. They in front of the camera. Let's go. And you're in mode. You understand what I'm saying? So they up there and they ridiculing Snoop for how he carried it with Gayle. And all this, he's up there, he's backtrack, and he's telling her, I was raised in the church, and everybody know that Snoop and this and that, and everybody called me, man. Puff called me. All they was like, we a brotherhood, and ain't nobody too far away to get checked or whatever. We understood what you said, but it's just the way you said it. You went about it wrong. He said his mom called him and said, oh, I raised you better than that. And every time he said something, Jada and Jada Pickett's daughter, they sitting there, yes, 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 yeah, oh, mm-hmm. All like on sequence, like so it was just so irking to see it happening, right? And then she talked and she said, what would she say? That when Snoop said what he said about Gail, she instantly thought about Willow and her mother and her, and Snoop was like, no, that's not what, no, oh, no, man, I got a big love for y'all, and not like that, and I was just hurt, and he trying to televise his anger, and right, so you see what's going on right here, right? He's somewhat apologetic for the tongue in which he said what he had to say, right? So he's going up there. Now, let's stop, freeze frame, and look at what just happened right here. What do you think just happened right here? Let's say if we go through the Slave Master's Handbook, we can probably backdate this pup to around 1700 somewhere. We run around a notorious cracker by the name of Jim Crow. Jim Crow had a method of grabbing the biggest, strongest, blackest, toughest, most inspirational to the plantation of slaves, right? Grab him for no reason while everybody was watching and put on the most brutal thing he could imagine at the time, ways to make a man holler and scream and beg for his life. And what he got going on is the mothers and children sitting there absorbing what's happening to this strong male. So what happens now is the mother takes the kids back in to the slave to the wherever they were sleeping in the manger, right? And the mother will whisper to the sons and daughters how to conduct themselves so that they don't end up like they strong, big, tough, rambunctious, bad. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of men that when the slave master came out there dishing out whippings for no reason, he would come in and stand in front of the family and take the hit every day. Back ain't even healed properly from the last time you came in here, and he'd still go and protect as much as he can. And that was hope, that was pride, that was strength, that was doing something to the pup. He said, no, we can't have that. So he reversed the process, broke the dad, in front the son, in front the mother, so that shit could trickle in to the generation before the son could even understand how to be. He's already hit with a finite wall of pain and desolence and loserhood and just darkness. Black. No hope. No nothing. No legacy to hold on to and run with. No army to back you up. Just complete abandonment. No matter what the family look like, if we all scared, if I'm scared to ball my hand up and hit the person who killed my dad, that was what I like to refer to. I dubbed the phrase NFO Merc. I dubbed the phrase digital Jim Crow. Yeah, because I guess we exist in a digital time. We sending money through digital blah, blah, blah. I'm uploading this through digital blah, blah, blah. The algorithm is keeping track of all types of digits. You see what I'm saying? So this was a digital Jim Crow. They brung Snoop to a public forum, and they what's the word? When you take away the testicles from something. Muted. You know what they did. He ain't Snoop Doggy Dog. Snoop bitchy bitch. Yeah, they done hit him with a slit. Yeah. Anyway, so let me calm down. Yeah, so that was the backlash. The backlash from Snoop now. Snoop got a backlash. You know what I'm saying? AKA Blacklash. So what was happening, his future cash endeavors, his future was in question. Trust me when I tell you that. We ain't none of us, once we got this uniform on, no matter how we put any other uniform on, no matter how we try to tattoo it up, jewelry it up, neighborhood car, it don't matter. Once you got this uniform on, you already know. So anytime there's a threat coming down, you feel not only your whole well-being, but also your life is in jeopardy. So when he started getting phone calls, and it was about NBC, when he getting hate through whoever, he getting this, he like, damn, they just disrupted my peace. You know, I'm just fun-loving Snoop. I like to smoke weed and paint my nails. I ain't into much. So now he got to go up there and clean it up because he still want millions. You see what I'm saying? Sidebar. This is what I realized, man. The biggest illusion that's going on right here, look, the 5%, let me give it to you real quick. They say 85% is the population of unaware. Then there's 10% of the people that are aware but controlling the 85%. That's 95. Then the 5% are the poor righteous teachers. The man, I knew it better than this. Poor righteous teachers, black man is God. The black woman is earth. The original man and woman who knows they place in the jungles of North America. You understand what I'm saying? Poor righteous teachers, not rich, spoiled, pampered, androgynous rappers. No, it was not that. So right back to it. So now you see anytime somebody's engaged into some type of Hollywood, whatever they call it, industrial, whatever, you in that boop, you over there, you an A-list celebrity, you got a star on the thing, you playing the game. This was going to happen. You're going to speak your free mind. You're going to go there. How dare you say what's on your mind because this lady attacked your friend, even though the case that she was attacking him, he beat the case. It's years ago. He was loved and took in by the NBA. He's died with his daughter in a tragic plane crash, and this is what you choose to come up with? And you think I'm not supposed to be angry? You think the wife ain't supposed to be angry? What if the wife went up there and said the same thing Snoop said? Would Jada had the same thing to say? So now Jada is looking at it like, oh, when you said that, you was talking to me, you was talking to Willow, and what we supposed to do. And he like, nah, why would you take it like that? Because if you took it like that, then you would have to see that when Gail was talking to Kobe, she was talking to me and your son and whoever else is out there, prominent. You see? So F is...
Okay.
Right.
All right. And she didn't say I was wrong. She just was just giving me, you know I raised you.
Giving
better
you
than
the
that.
truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're a representation of us.
Yes.
Us. Every woman that ever crossed your life, you're a representation of that.
Wow.
So I got it.
Right.
And I didn't tell my team. I didn't go to my publicist and say, hey guys, I'm planning on. I just did it.
Yeah. Right. Just did it.
And then I hit them with it. So I would like to apologize to you publicly for the language that I used and calling you out of your name and just being disrespectful. And right. Funky dog head bitch.
Good for that, right? If she's going to accuse him for what he tailorized to Gail, and Gail specifically, you know me. Yeah. So if that's how it was done, then it got to work the other way. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Simple math. If it's do it on one side, you got to do it on the other. Real easy thing to do, man. Snoop words towards Gil were also an attack on all women, but I can't say that. All right, and we listen, man. At the end of the day, what I come to conclude, man, is that we are a very easy group to like manipulate, and the reason why is because everything that you, as a member of this uniform team, right? Oh yeah, everything you're connected to makes you who you are. Your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, your mates, your friends, right? They make you who you are, right? Man, woman, child. It's old, young, and current generation. There's a connection there. You see how Jada presented it on the table. There's no masculine energy there. The only masculine energy there was the one that was getting what's that word here? De-nutted. Can't slow down, Merc. This is a family show. Yeah. So We don't come together as man and woman. We don't come together as old and young. We have turmoil in those areas. What the code breaker, has come to realize is that anytime there's supposed to be a natural flow, like a natural marriage, not an artificial marriage, but a natural marriage between man, woman, and child. That unison, that old leading the young, not the young leading the old. And even if at one point when the young is leading the old, he will be fully mentally charged and know what direction he's going in, and he'll be honoring his father in every future footstep that he takes. You see what I'm saying? I will break all this stuff down in his own YouTube thing. I promise you I'm going to get back to it. So, when I have come to realize that anytime there's a disharmony in that natural connection between young, old, male, female, I realize I have to call it what it is. According to the OG Minister Farrakhan, we can't call them Jews, so we will call them small hat savages, right? And there's also a new form of savagery too. It's digital savagery. See, the game has always been changing and evolving. It was very primitive to run around with a spear and with your other enemy having a spear and just chuck spears at each other. So we evolved and we came up with firearms. Then that became a little primitive. So within the firearm game, there was a lot of ground that got covered. We got snipers, we got this, we got that, we got tanks, we got a lot of that. Was a high casualty rate, right? They were throwing bombs. All that stuff like that. Very primitive in time. So what they did now, they took it to the air, they took it to the water, then after the air, they took it to satellites, and then after all of that, they went to the other manual. Let's go to the other good book here. Let's call this The Slave. This is how you conquer a nation and govern it. We call this one the Holy Bible, right? And in the Bible, there are 4 horses, and there's war, famine, pestilence, and I believe it was what? Death? Which all of them translates to death, either way you look at it. But war, we told you we evolved from that, and then they hit you with corona, which is a form of pestilence, and famine, or whichever way you want to look at it, plague. Oh, I think the other one was plague, right? So plague. So they plagued you with the corona. These men are aware of this. They know how to do what they want to do. They got a book. They got the book. They got the book. You understand what I'm saying? So when there's a war going on between another harmony, right? That black and white, night and day. These things, winter and summer. These things are supposed to flow harmoniously, and that's why it's very hard for people who share friends or family members with opposite cultures that it's hard to condemn the whole race when you say, damn, I know a white boy and he's pretty good. He might say, I know a black God. He might have to strike the word black off and just keep God. I know a God. He's awesome. He has a YouTube page. His name is NFO Mert the Codebreaker. We should like and subscribe on that shameless plug right there. But anyway, that's how we should look at it. You understand what I'm saying? These dudes, there's a disharmony going on there, and once that disharmony is there, you understand who did it? The small hat savage, right? He's a vulture. He will create a war and then eat what's left. He will supply both sides, create a disharmony between the two, and then set them in motion, and then it just keeps rolling. And the ignorant will be at the front line. The ignorant white man, the ignorant black man, using that word very loosely, the ignorant black man will also be the prime target. And how do you distinguish an ignorant black man? There's no real way. There's no real way till after he is brung publicly to the crowd and humiliated and ripped apart. And then you hear his history, you see what's going on. And then you realize, like, damn, he wasn't as ignorant as we thought. You understand? So this disharmony is going on right here. It's a very, once you understand how to look at it, there's a guy I love to listen to on my downtime. His name is Nelly Fuller Jr. He states that if you do not understand white supremacy, everything you learn from this point will only confuse you. And every time we take on a problem and you just look at the problem like it's just that, it doesn't have a white supremacy involvement in there, you are fully asleep. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way that Zimmerman, grown man, should be able to hunt down a little boy and murder him and go to court and get away with it. There should be no way in this tax-paying country that should happen. Can you imagine the grief of families feeling leaving it to the state, which has a cloak of white supremacy, then Zimmerman being a hand of white supremacy, doing the ultimate thing that white supremacy wants it to be done, the taking of a black life. So he will get rewarded. Trayvon, a patriot of Skittles, and Skittles pay for Zimmerman's legal representation to ensure that he comes home. What we don't understand about that particular case, I'm not going to go all into all the little things, but real quick, what was going on there was the Stand Your Ground initiative. The Stand Your Ground initiative was upheld by the gun. The gun is in the hand of the white to do right by his might. You understand what I'm saying? So that had to get carried out. Skittles had it's big money. You don't create a little candy company without being invested in a gun company. Only sheep do that. Only the unaware do that. Only the unaware are infatuated and tell their youth, their future, their evolution, not to invest in a means to sustain and protect your life, whether it's mentally, physically, and by any means necessary. You understand? So we're gonna call this one Digital Jim Crow. It's pretty much based on the Snoop and Gail turmoil that was the white supremacy hired Jada Picket Smith, the harlot, the Jezebel, to bring Snoop Doggy Dogg to justice. So with that one, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff that you could do to help keep your brother enthused on making more videos and bringing you the news, sharing you the blues, and keeping it true. One time for the deuce.